Secretariat, members of the public, and the nominee before this committee. Kindly, can you confirm if you are CICILIA, MAJUMA, ETAAN?
Yes.
Very well. In the history and doctrine of this house, before we start the business of the house, we want to start by a word of prayer. Let's pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of the society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor us, the servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and a faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and the welfare of our county and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. I now call upon the legal counsel to lead the process of checking off. Welcome.
I, CICILIA, do swear by the Almighty God that everything that I shall say in this approval hearing shall be the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. Good afternoon, honorable members, the members of the public in the gallery, the nominee for the county chief public service. Honorable members, the position of the chief officer in fact, is part of the executive appointment, complemented in section 45 of County Government Act number 17 of 2012. And the county assembly is therefore mandated to vet and approve their appointed effective position, in this case, the position of County Chief Officer Public Service. Honorable members, the vetting process is approximated to take at most 1.5 hours or less, depending on the responses from the nominee. According to the Public Appointments Act 2017, Section 5, Part 1, the nominee was notified to appear before this committee by the Gazette notice. Honorable members, according to Section 16 of Ethics and Integrity Act, read together with the County Assembly of Turkana Standing Order number 100, Part 1, any member who is likely to be conflicted has to declare the nature of interest whenever fiduciary, personal, propriety, close family members, or pecuniary. A member who wishes to speak on any matter in which the member has a personal interest shall first declare that interest, and the member will neither score nor ask the nominee a question, and will remain silent or opt out of the vetting venue of the process. These proceedings are open to the members of the public, and they are live on the Channel Radio, FM, County Assembly official Facebook page, and YouTube channel. So, for the conflict of interest, I want to take 1 minute to refer to members, if any of us or any of you has a matter that may conflict the integrity of the process. Thank you. Silence means we are out of that gap. Similarly, I would like to draw to the attention of the members of the public that are seated in the gallery during the vetting process that they are required all to maintain silence. Phones should be off or on silent mode, and there shall be minimal movement that are likely to distract the committee or the is under strict instructions to eject any person who flouts these orders. I want to make a plea to the nominee to be precise in answering or responding to questions from honorable members. I thank you. Now, the nominee for the position of Chief Officer Public Service, you are already under the oath, just the one you have taken a few minutes ago. Therefore, we expect that all that shall be said before this committee shall always but truth and nothing but the truth. So before we move to our questions, we'll have a wrap of introductions so that you know exactly the people you are, the people that are taking you through this process of approval hearing. And as usual, I'll start from my far right. Thank you and welcome.
I'm Honorable Abdifata Kapu Epei, MCA Payroll, Deputy Majority Leader.
Good afternoon. I'm Vincent Babule Ekor, Commissioner representing Ochogyo, leader of WIP, Minority WIP in the Turkana Assembly, member of this committee.
I am now your President Aule, MCA for Kibish Ward. Also, I am Vice Chairperson for this committee. Thank you.
I am Honorable Philip Ekwa, MCA Nana Board, Deputy Speaker, member of this committee.
I am Honorable elect Mahima County, also I'm serving in the assembly as well. I know member of this committee. Thank you.
Honorable Mark Akaramajo, MCA Raymond, this particular committee.
Honorable Jacinta Avenue, Special Elect Turkana North, and I am a member. I'm the senior member in this committee.
Honorable Selena Lapope, Special Elect Turkana.
Members, for the knowledge of the nominee, the committee is comprised of 9 honorable members, and then also of a secretariat, which some of them are in, some of them will be joining us as we proceed. The members of secretariat include the following: Brenda Mana, committee clerk; Gladys Moru, Ansar, in charge of Ansar; Paul Redoket, committee clerk; Mary Tan, charge of media; Isaac Nakali, sergeant at arms; Regan Karan, sergeant at arms; Mark Mekede, media, in charge of media; Geoffrey Kebo, Ansar audio; Cosmas Nama, research officer; then finally Millicent Longor, legal counsel. Just finished taking his part. So, honorable members, the nominee and the members of the public, the chairperson is Honorable Elimlim Samuel Aliwo, MCA Lobokat Ward, and he chairs this committee. Then we will proceed. I want to request that you confirm if you have a notebook right there, and a pen, because we will be having questions from each member, and if he has one or two, you need to note them down and answer them, and then we'll give to maybe the next honorable member. You are welcome, CICILIA, to these chambers. Feel free, relax. It will be an interactive session between you and honorable members. Welcome. I will straight away go to the first questions for you. Those questions come from the chair. And the first one is, kindly tell us about yourself and why you deserve to be approved for this position. Kindly tell us about yourself and why you feel like you deserve this position. Number two, what is your financial worth, current and anticipated sources of income? Your financial net as per now and anticipated sources of income. Then finally, from my side is, what competencies and skills do you bring along in improving the performance in the position we are approving you for? What competencies and skills do you think you will add value onto the position you are expected to be approved for? Thank you and welcome.
Thank you, Chair. I'm CICILIA MAJUMA, ETAAN, born in Nakamura village, Kaptir ward in Turkana South. I went to Nakamura Primary School for my Kenya Certificate of Primary Education, where I proceeded to Turkana Girls Secondary School. Then after Turkana Girls, I went to Kenyatta University for my bachelor's degree in education science, and where I specialized in teaching mathematics and chemistry. And then after that, when I was in the university, I was working with Kenya as a local community facilitator in good governance. And then after I finished my university, I was employed with Helpage International as a county data management officer. And then after that, I think when I was in Helpage, I was still absorbed as county lands management member in both with NHC, National Lands Commission. And then again, after that I was recruited with IBC as a acting administrative assistant, that is a deputy returning officer for Turkana South constituency. And then after that, I was employed with Teacher Service Commission, where I work as a teacher based in Trans Nzoia County in Misanga Secondary School as a teacher. Thank you, Mr. Chair, Honorable Chair. Question number 2, why I deserve to be approved? I think one thing I aspire to be approved as a nominee of this, as a chief officer for this position. For one, from my work experience, most of my time I've worked in Turkana County. And a displacement I got to go to Trans Nzoia had given me a feeling that I need to come back and serve my people in that capacity, and also with the knowledge and the skills I acquired from the various entities, that is the NGO and government entities that I've been working with. I feel like I have the competence to be approved to be the chief officer and work with the Turkana community and deliver my services to my own people and the people of Turkana County. Next question on financial net worth. My net worth is 23 million, and the anticipated income that I have is, I think I anticipate from the salary that's maybe if taken as a chief officer, I expect that I will be paid, anticipate I will be paid a salary. And then this net worth of 23 million is distributed from the ownership of the land. Some lands are undeveloped, others have 2 developed lands, one where I have my residential, and then another one I have rentals, and also I do business where I run a boutique and I do over internet services to the clients, and I think that is where I get my financial incomes. And then the fourth question on the competence and skills that I'm bringing to this position. I would like to appreciate my previous employees. Like when I was working with ETAAN International, I think I was able to do coordinations and supervisions of a number of who I used to manage, and with that management of these staffs, I was able to acquire skills of decision makings, where if an issue has erupted, I was come with them together, and then we discuss on the issue at hand, and then we have to solve at least for delivery to the people of Turkana. And also from IBC, I was mandated wholly on the recruitment and the management of the staff of the commission. Now, I had quite some skills on implementing of recruitments. We have promotion and the placements of the staff that I was to recruit for the general election of 2017. And this one, I had to make a number of decisions following the law, where I have to, with an example of placement, I was to do a fair recruitment exercise, and also to place people with the suitability and competence that they had to the various positions in management of election. And also at the same time, from the work experience that I had, I can say that I got the skills of being a team player, where we work as a team, and then with teamwork, I think things might be easier, so that because you are bringing people's idea together, and then from there we can be able to solve some issues and also deliver as required, and we give the output to the various entities that we were working with. I think with that, thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you for that elaborate responses you've made. I want to bring to your attention that you still have water just right around your table. When you feel like our weather is not safe for you, you can work on the water. We have a supply of it in this house. Next questions will come from Abdul.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Madam Cecilia, I have two questions for you. Kenya is currently grappling with the menace of wage bill that eats into development spending. What prudent measures will you put in place to tackle the problem of wage bill in the county? Kenya is currently grappling with the menace of wage bill that eats into development spending. What prudent measures will you put in place to tackle the problem of wage bill in the county? Question number 2. Several counties in Kenya, including Turkana, are struggling with the issue of ghost workers. If the county assembly approves your nomination, what strategies will you put in place to address this challenge? Thank you.
Thank you.
Cecilia, I think you've had the two questions, one on wage bill, the other one on ghost workers. Are the questions clear for you?
Yes.
Right.
Through the Honorable Chair, the first question on the wage bill, I want to acknowledge the fact that specifically in Turkana, we are working on maybe I can say it can be above, because the government, the law requires us to have a wage bill of 35%, but as for now, we are working above this 35%. And since it is an issue at hand, we can't just say that things are comfortable the way they are, but we need to give some measures on how to work on this wage bill. Now, I go to specifically, me as a chief officer, I may have to advise the county government to follow the law, that the law requires us to work with a certain wage bill of 35%. So we need to do always at least work on what we are required by, what is required by the law. And then now we think of, if I cite an example of having more employment, I still have to give an advice on freezing of more employments. That is maybe from my ministry, that if the county government needs to recruit more, it is me to advise them that it is, we are beyond the wage bill and need to work on what we allocated as per the constitution and the law of Kenya. And then also, another thing I may put in place or advise is I may have some things like skills of people. We want to bring more people. I might advise to utilize the already existing personnel. Like, I can have an assessment of the skills that we have. And maybe an example, maybe we want a doctor specializing maybe in surgery, and then we have an existing staff in the government. I think we can have, I can advise because the identified skills is we need a surgeon to assist us in a medical person entity. So when we identify this staff, we can do the training of this staff. Remember, it's still existing in the government, and to not, it will just cut the cost of us bringing another person to have the same hiring two people. You are now cutting the cost of having two different people utilize the already personnel who is there. At least we can have only the capacity building cost, but this person, and also when this person is trained, is supposed to sign an MOU with the county government to be bonded with the county government that he needs to work with the county government. Other than you can train a personnel, and then when he gets it, and then that means you have to go back and do the training again. On issue of the staff, I think we need to have I'd love to advise we have a staff inventory of the skills that we already have, so that those skills that are available can be utilized, and those that are required by the county government needs we can do a capacity building on the personnel that we have. Employments that needs to be brought to the county is going to be reduced. Thank you. The second question is the issue of ghost workers. I want to acknowledge the fact that this is an issue that is already there, and I think there's also a task force that is working on it, whether it is going to identify the ghost workers, if they are available or not. But I think this is a creation, either by default or somebody intentionally. You can have a group of staff colluding with each other so that they have some people in the payroll, and then maybe they get the money, and then we are looting from the government, and it's already a malpractice that is already there, and we can't sit and say that we are comfortable with the malpractice. We need to do something and address it. I think from my side, I'll think of one, having the payroll itself. Most of this is a loophole that can be created. Like I said, it can be created by a default or by design. And the design one is where we sit together and we collude as the staffs. Now, like for the design, I think people who are using the Excel sheet to pay people have high chances of having the ghost workers. But I think from my side, I would think of, I'd say, we'll have all payments of the county government staff should be done using a payroll, where each and every staff has a staff number. And I think by elimination of these Excel sheets, this designing of what ghost workers into the payroll, it will be minimal. And then also, I think from my side also, this issue of ghost workers can be brought in place as a result of having many people working in the same entity. When somebody was saying, when you can have a group of fools, but when these fools sit together, they will work on you and they will have a bright idea. I think from my side, I would say that I'll task one personnel, at least to have one personnel to work on the payroll. If I have any other issues pertains this ghost worker, I think I'll have reduced the number of personnel to be answerable to the issue of the ghost workers. With that, thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, CICILIA. Back to Honorable Member. Question on the responses of Ms. CICILIA. Very well, Honorable Member. You're progressing well. Then our next question will be asked by Honorable Selina. Kindly welcome.
Thank you, Chair. Question number 3. In what ordinary course of business, staff and payroll audit comes with outcomes. What outcomes do you think will come out of the recent count staff audit? In ordinary course of businesses, staff and
The question from honorable member is basically means every activity that is undertaken, we expect outcome. Then currently, or a few days ago, the county government of Turkana was doing an payroll audit. Therefore, what outcomes do you think they will come out of that? Now that you are adding to the docket of Chief Officer of Public Service, and that is where all these we are talking about workers is within. Hello, is that clear?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think the question wants me to preempt the report that has not been handed over to my dockets yet. And I may say that I think from the reports which are yet to receive, I think the outcome that these people are analyzing and examining to see if the payroll itself has the ghost workers. And as from my side, I'll say that this report it's going to be handed over. It's going to be handed over to the public service, which is might come with recommendations to come as maybe we have the ghost workers in the county government, and also the recommendation on how they want us to work on. And I think from me, I think this report comes to us, and whereby we need to discuss before the actual working on the report. We need to discuss the report, and this report is not discussed. It is a consultative kind of business, whereby we have to bring in the county human resource advisory committee through the county secretary, and then I think working hand in hand with the county secretary, the recommendations are going to be given on the decision making on what you are supposed to do. It's going to be given out by the county human resource advisory committee. So as it is, whatever the report, it can be positive that we have the ghost workers, or we might not have them, because it's something that we do not have at hand. We all of us are waiting for whatever that is coming out of the audit report. But I think the right channel is going to be, we are going to receive the report, but it is still the county human resource advisory committee to discuss on the report and then give us their own recommendation and what they are supposed to do according to their decision. And that is when we are going to take the right action on the recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you. Still within that same question, this is not the first time the county government of Turkana is doing staff audit. I think somewhere last year, there was again, before this current governor, the previous governor in his last days, did almost the same staff audit. And I don't know if it got results or not, but now that you are adding there, do you think this one round, is it going to give us results? Because if that one did not give us results, then we are still looking at, we are repeating the same thing, we are allocating resources for audit, we are not seeing the results. How differently do you think this one will come out, will work out?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I think the report will give us, the task force is going to give us their own report on what is in the payroll, whether we have the ghost workers or not. But I want to focus much on if we have the ghost workers, we still have to, we cannot just rewrite a government money is being looted and used here now when they are supposed to be put in the right docket that they're supposed to, or it can help in other ways. I think from my view, this thing needs to be, if it happens that really we have ghost workers in the payroll, we need to have measures on how to mitigate the problem from occurring more. Like you can think of having a staff inventory of the number of staffs per department, that every department needs to do it regularly to report to the public service on the number of staff that they have. And then this one will make us to do a follow-up on those people who are getting the money, the government pays, and yet they are not in the service to offer the service to the community. And then also, I think other recommendations and decisions will be given out by the county human resource advisory committee, because we work hand on hand with them to give us the advisory on their side of the decision that we are supposed to make. But we hope and pray that we'll have a good report, and also that it's going to give us a positive thinking of how to eliminate these ghost workers, at least to save the government money from being misused. Thank you.
Well said, CICILIA. We are moving, progressing. Honorable Member will give 2 questions, and that is Honorable Philip Ekwang, who goes as the Deputy Speaker for the County Assembly of Turkana. Welcome.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I would like to ask the nominee, CICILIA and ETAAN, a few questions. The first question is, Turkana County government is experiencing laxity in the performance of duties by their staff across all the departments of the county. What strategies do you think you will put in place to improve the public service? That's the first question. The other question is, most county governments have employed directors on PLP basis. Yet, Turkana County government puts them on contract. Do you think Turkana County government should adopt the same? Those are the other questions. I wanted the nominee CICILIA to respond.
Very well. Hope they are clear for you.
The second one.
Second one, can make clarity on it, that County Government of Turkana has employed directors, and they are employed on contractual basis, yet some other counties have employed them on permanent and pensionable basis. Then the question was, do you, in your opinion, do you think it is well to adapt what other counties are doing? Or if not, why?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. On the first question, first of all, I want to appreciate the fact that the county government has ensured service delivery to the grassroots, where maybe we have officers like sub-county, the administrators, we have the village admins, that they are supposed to serve our people from the grassroots. Now, at a point, we also acknowledge the fact that these members, the staff members, to me, I would say they have been demotivated on their roles. And I think coming to the public service, I would say that the key role of the staffs in the county government are supposed to serve the people of the Turkana County and the Turkana community at large. Now, because of this laxity, it means we are not realizing our goals and objectives of devolution to the people of Turkana County. Now, I think from my side is I need to really determine on why these people, the laxity and the motivation factor that is making them to relax on their duties, because it's going to affect our delivery as a county. Now, for instance, maybe from the determination and assessment of the staff laxity, of course, that means it will have to initiate a meeting of having these human personnel, at least to give us what is the factors that are making them to be motivated on the service delivery to the people of Turkana County. For instance, maybe one of the factors they said might be we have motivation. Sometimes motivation comes in different ways. Think of motivation in terms of their facilitations, like their vehicles are grounded, they can't move from one location to the other because they need to give these services to the community or persons in Turkana who is living in Nigeria farthest end. So it means from my side, this is already an issue that this person cannot deliver because of a certain issue. So it means I'll have to work with my colleague in administration so that they will have to prepare their vehicles, so that they will have to access those areas they need to give their services. Then again, another factor can be these people are demotivated because of not being capacity built. Because from the Constitution of Kenya, the law of human resource, each employee is required to have a 5-day training each and every year. And maybe these staffs have not experienced such kind of trainings. You are working in one environment, delivering the services and what you have been given from the start of your contract. Maybe someone is there 10 years and he has never gone for another training. So it means we'll have to work on making sure these staffs have to access the training. And I think this one will have to uplift their spirit to work. And then also, maybe another thing, some of these people, like you think of the sub-county, the administrators, and they have the office facilitation fee, and at the time it becomes frustrating to them, they don't even get the fee. So I think it's one of the things that we need to work with a colleague in the administration so that they get these dues in time for them to work on for them to deliver on these services to the people that they are required to deliver. Because of course, if I'm supposed to have a cleaner in the office and I don't have something to pay that person, he will work and then he's going to run away. And then that means it is not my problem, it is the government who has also contributed for the laxity. And then people just say, let's do things the way the government wants. But it is high chance we need to rectify and think on how we can help and ensure that they get what the law requires them to get. I think with that I will go to the next question. This issue of the permanency and the contract of the directors comparing with the other. In my opinion, I would say that Turkana County is in the right position and in the right track on engaging the directors on contractual, the performance contract, so that I think from my opinion is that the law requires them to be on contract. And I think when you are on the right side of the law, you are doing the right thing. And that means we can't run away from the negotiating a contract, I think also performance will also go high. Because this person will love to work knowing that at certain points, if I don't deliver to this, to the actual targets and on what the employer has stipulated from the contract, they will have to work hard so that they achieve the goals and the objectives that they sign with the contract, at least for them to deliver the services to the community in Turkana County. Thank you. Chair.
Thank you. Back to Honorable Philip in case of any supplementary question and responses.
You can proceed, Chair.
Thank you. I think, Ms. Celia, you have used administration as your examples. I want to believe that you want the House to apply to the rest of the departments because you are in charge of all the departments, public servants. So as much as you exclusively dealt with the administrative part of it, to me, the wide range of the workers that are under you will maybe apply to what you have just said within that department. Then we're moving forward. Next, honorable member to ask his part of questions is Honorable Vincent Ekiporo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I think even the nominee, she has now relaxed because when she started answering the questions, there was a little pressure. So now I think she's in the right position because she's answering the questions well. And I'm also seeing some capability of administration now. Mr. Chair, I'll just go straight to my question. The first one, pursuant to County Government Act 2012, offices created in the county have clear roles. Explain to this committee the synergy that should exist between your portfolio, the county secretary, and county public service board. I'll repeat. Pursuant to County Government Act 2012, offices created in the county have clear roles. Explain to this committee the synergy that should exist between your portfolio, the county secretary, and county public service board. I hope I'm clear on that. I will go to the second one. The county government of Turkana has insured its employees with a medical cover with a certain insurance company. However, that in the recent past, the employees were not receiving services whenever they visit health facility, to an extent subjecting them to pay for a service that has already been catered for. In your view, what measures are you going to put in place to curb this menace? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Ms. Celia, are the questions okay for you?
Yeah.
Well, okay, proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Concerning the first question, I think we have three bodies that are working together to ensure the service delivery of Turkana County government is adhered to in terms of the following of the law and also coordination of the government activities. From the County Government Act, I think the county secretary is the head of the public service, whereby we have all the staffs of the county governments are under the county secretary, and he acts like a coordinating person between the executive and the public service board. That means in any linkage between the public service board and the executive of the county government, the county secretary is responsible. And also the county secretary is the chairperson of the county human resource advisory committee. And from the county, this is where we discuss matters of HR. Matters of HR of the county government are being managed. And then from the chief officer from the public service, his role is the secretariat to the county human resource advisory committee. So we work hand in hand in the managing of HR issues in the county. Now, when we talk of the board, the county public service board, I think the constitution and the county government act is clear to their roles, where they are supposed to create offices and also abolish when needs is there. So they do recruitment where they have to do the satisfying of the documents to fill the position which is vacant, and in that they will have the link with the CS. So, and this public service board is an independent body that requires that they do their roles independently, and it is not being interfered by the county secretary or even the chief officer of the public service. With that, I say thank you, Honorable Chair, for the first question. Now I got the second question. It's on issue of the medical cover. I must admit this has been an issue to the county government staffs, and it's our chance we need to have a mechanism in place so that we can rectify the mess, and we cannot let it just like this. Is a matter of health, and health is a very critical issue that needs to be dealt with. I think from my side, being a chief officer of public service, one thing that I feel it's supposed to be put in place. We need to do, before we do the procurement of the procurement processes of these medical cover schemes. I know various of them will have to apply, but before we engage, we need to do a diligence report to ascertain the real services such an every scheme is offering, whether it's going to be for benefit to these people or it is something that's going to come and frustrate our people the same way it has been going in our county. And then also another thing that I feel like it needs to be put in place, that when we are doing the procurement policies, me personally, I'm coming from educational field. I don't know anything about medical. I think we need to incorporate a medical personnel so that it's going to interrogate on the kind of the services these people are going to offer. At least from there, we can be able to cover some gaps that the scheme might have, so that they will be able to give us a report that maybe this scheme is suitable or it's not suitable for us to make a decision on whether to engage them. Then I'll say also, on the same, one thing I feel that is bringing up the biggest issue is the issue of we need to eliminate the blockade in between the medical scheme and the county government. Right now, I understand we have the county government contracted the MINET scheme to give us the medical services, and in between we have AIR, which is also offering these services. You know, the process itself is frustrating. Me as a patient, I cannot have to engage the AIR. I'm supposed to engage the MINET because it is the county which is under contract with the county government. But because of this, I will not accept the MINET. So I think this broker needs to be eliminated, that the county government needs to deal directly with the service provider with the tonight. And I think a lot of frustrations might have reduced because I'll be able to approach them as a patient that, because I need their assistance at that point. I think with that I say thank you, Honorable Chair.
Well put. Back to the Honorable member who has the questions.
Chair, I think just answered the question very well.
Our next question comes from Honorable Rebecca. Welcome.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I have one question which is the Chair of the CICILIA, MAJUMA, that the Department of Public Service has always been accused of bias when it came to the transfers and placement. In your opinion, what strategies will you put in place to ensure fairness and equity during transfers and placement of the new transfers?
New status.
The new staffs. New staffs. Or would I repeat?
It's okay.
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 Thank you, through the chair, the Honorable Chair. First of all, these are issues I know I might face as a Chief Officer of Public Service. But the outcry is that service delivery to our people. And now, because of if transfers and placement are put in a way that it's not, the law is not followed, it means this one will be a motivating factor, and which is going to affect the service delivery, the humanity in Turkana County. Now, I think from my side is that the law is clear, and the County Government Act is very clear on the transfers and the placement, that the law requires us as in public service to do the transfers and merits fairly in consideration of other factors. Like I can cite one of, we have the hedge. You know, if you have someone who have worked in public service and is more older than a junior officer, like you take a junior officer, you give a high placement in the county government, and this person has worked for many years. I think that is so demoralizing in a way that even delivery to the service that is supposed to deliver, the output is going to go low. So it means the law has to be abided by doing it the right thing. Like the placement needs to be merit fairly, and then people need to compete for these positions. Like if you want to get a transfer or a placement in a certain position, we need to consider things like the job experience of this person, because you cannot just bring one person who worked for 2 years and there's another person in the public service who have worked over 25 years. So I think for me, I would have to do the right thing. That is in consideration with what the law stipulates for me to do in the placement of the county government staffs. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Our next question from Honorable Mark.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Madam CICILIA, it is in the public domain that most county government employees do business with the county government through tendered, neither directly or indirectly through proxy. What, in your opinion, should be done to discourage this unethical practice?
Thank you. Thank you, the Chair, the Honorable Chair. I think the Leadership Integrity Act is very clear on the public servants that I'm supposed to do what the law requires me to do. That in case I have an interest for something, I'm supposed to declare my interest, and I should not participate in any decision making or even have a tender because it's going to have looked by the public as a conflict of interest. So I'm a public servant who is binded by the Constitution of Kenya under the Leadership and Integrity Act. So I think from there I need to declare my interest, and then I don't need to do business with the county government. Other than I might seek businesses outside the county government. We have several entities in the county where I can get those such kind of businesses other than me working there, because the county government, I'm an employee and I'm supposed to lead as an example to give to the community to live with what the Act wants me to do in terms of having an interest in a certain business in the county government.
Thank you. You have in details dealt on that question on a personal way. The question is so open that you are in a position of a chief officer, public service. Now, it's a matter of history that some workers in this county, not necessarily you who have not even started, been taking tender in various departments. Therefore, we are talking about what difference will you bring into the county government, the executive wing on public service that will derail the employees from either directly or indirectly competing for tenders within the government they're working in.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I think I would say that the law is a guiding document that needs to lead each and every employee. Me working in a public service, I talked of a staff inventory. That's, of course, I know this staff is a county government official, and he has an interest in a certain business with the county government, and the law does not require me to award either the tender to this employee. So I think I need to adhere to the law, and then I'll just have to advise the staff that the law doesn't require you to be given the tender because of the conflict of interest. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. The next question comes from Honorable Kope, who also doubles as a deputy chairperson for this committee. Welcome, Honorable.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I have one question for Nominee. County Assembly is the legislative arm of the county government. How can you ensure there is a good working relationship between the executive and the county assembly? Let me repeat again. The question says, county assembly is the legislative arm of the county government. How can you ensure there is a good working relationship between the executive and the county assembly? Thank you, Honorable Chair.
To the Honorable Chair.
Proceed.
We are all government entities, the county government and the county assembly. We are all the the government entities which are supposed to ensure the service delivered to the Turkana people. Now, when one body is left behind, it means there is a disconnect of the responsibility of a given entity. And that means we need to work hand in hand together in a way that we don't bring that disconnect, and this one is going to bring an issue of the services are not going to be delivered. Like I can set a case whereby maybe me as a chief officer for public service having a bad relation with the county assembly, it means I will not have that way of even contacting you people in the business, where yet the law requires us to work hand in hand. Now, as for my case, I think one thing I'll do from the county assembly, I might receive on I'll have to respond to those queries, at least for the process of continuity of the process and the follow-up of what was being inquired to. And then number two, I think at a certain point, I may say an example of during the budget making process. From the county assembly, I've received recommendations on what I'm supposed to do. So this recommendation is not something that I need to pick and just leave them like the way they are. So I need to implement the recommendation from the county assembly in the delivering the services to the people of Turkana in the office that I'm going to head. And then another thing, I will have to make sure there is that timely reporting to the county assembly on the matters that are concerning the department that I'm working on. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, honorable members and nominee, the members of the public seated in the gallery. Madam CICILIA is one of the nominees who gains momentum as we move towards the end of the question. And we were feeling like we needed more questions for her because even the energy is becoming double than when we started. But all in all, she has also been precise to the way she has been responding to our to the questions, and that is why she has really given us the ample time to take the shortest time possible. And now that we are formally done away with the written questions, I want to go back to honorable members in case any of you has any supplementary question for Madam CICILIA. Welcome. The silence is a very good indicator that members are satisfied. Therefore, we come back to Madam CICILIA for wrap up. Any concern with this committee, any question you want us to ask, any clarity you want to ask us, any clarity, and before we come to the end of the session. Welcome.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I think I don't have much to say. Mine is to appreciate the effort, time that you have accorded to me being here. And also, I'm looking forward, if approved to be the nominee to work with you people, at least for the service of the Turkana person in the Turkana County. That is all. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, ETAAN CICILIA MAJUMA, one appearing here, being precise and being timely. I also want to appreciate the honorable members for questioning. I want to extend my appreciation to the gallery, members of the public that have observed the very few rules we laid at the beginning of the session. I want to encourage you that it's not only a day when we are having approval hearing for members for either CECs or for chief officers as today. That is when you are welcome. We are still welcome when the county assembly is on and we have very important debates pertaining this county, this honorable county of Turkana. Therefore, wish to say we have come to the end of our approval hearing, and wish all the best of luck to the nominee, ETAAN CICILIA MAJUMA. Thank you.